Hello, I'm Regina McCann, President of Forge Wealth Management, and welcome to our Women in Wealth series. Today, we're going to talk about why women need to save more than men. Now, men and women may not be on equal footing when it comes to investing for the future. On average, women work fewer years and earn less than men, but we also tend to live longer. Therefore, women must focus on the concerns that are unique to them when planning for retirement. Now, women don't invest differently. Unfortunately, some negative stereotypes still exist about a woman's ability to manage money, which may also cause some women to feel they shouldn't make their own investment choices. Now, some women do leave the decision making to their husbands, which can result in their being ill-equipped to handle their finances if they outlive their spouses or encounter divorce. Now, if you are one of those women who, does like that their husband takes care of that, the one suggestion I do have is that you have semi-annual meetings with each other to go over those finances so that you know where everything is and understand how it's being invested, how it's being spent, what your debt look like, where your investment, look at the whole balance sheet. So that way you're not as in the dark about everything that most people do when they're not handling that side of the household information. Now, despite stereotypes, studies show that a majority of married women actively do participate or take the leading role in managing family finances. Now, educating themselves about investments and long-term planning can help women feel more comfortable with riskier, yet potentially more rewarding investments. Now, as more women enter the field of financial advising and planning, female investors may also be more inclined to seek advice from other women. And I would love to see more women coming into our industry. It is a great industry for women. Even though it is still very well dominated by men, it is a great industry for women. Now, there are still some real obstacles to overcome, right? Women still only earn about 83 cents for every dollar earned by our male counterparts. Now, because we earn less, women often are unable to invest as much as men. Now, however, in order to make up for other discrepancies in retirement benefits, women may actually need to invest more. For example, because women often leave the workforce to bring up children or leave later to care for elderly relatives, we have few total working hours. On average, we spend 7 years out of the workforce to care for family members. Now, this may mean that women qualify for lower pension benefits and other retirement benefits. Fewer years in the workforce means fewer years with a single employer and lower pay. They're all factors that may contribute to a lower average pension for female retirees and other retirement benefits as well. Now, at the same time, women on average live longer than men. Now, that means that we must provide for more years in retirement than our male counterparts. So basically, we're going to outlive our male counterparts. So we're going to need more money, right? Now, also, as a result of some of those factors, we also may receive lower Social Security benefits than men. Social Security benefits are calculated based on a person's highest 35 years of earnings. If a benefit recipient doesn't have 35 years in the workforce, the Social Security Administration will add 0 earnings years to his or her record to equal the 35 years. Now, what's that do? It actually lowers the average monthly earning figure and may result in lower benefits for women who have not worked for a total of 35 years. Now, finally, because women tend to live longer than men, not only can we expect to spend more years in retirement, but we must also consider the fact that a couple's retirement savings may be diminished by healthcare costs for the spouse who dies first. And guess what? That leads to another problem. Most times we're taking care of our spouse while they're ill and sadly dying. But then what happens when we're past that? Then we've ignored our own health for so many years. And there's, usually not anyone to take care of us. So that's another problem. That's, I guess, a video podcast for another day, but it's also something we have to think about. Now let's talk about working toward a solution. While there is clearly a gender gap in earnings, data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics has shown improvements in women's earnings. Higher earnings for women could mean the potential for more investments. Nonetheless, the bottom line is that in order to make up for differences in earnings and benefits and more retirement years due to longer lifespans, women may have to invest more. Now, there are a number of steps women can follow when planning for a comfortable retirement. One of those would be to carefully consider how much risk you're willing to take in exchange for the potential to earn higher returns. Now, historically, equity investments have provided higher returns over the long term than less risky investments like money markets and short-term bonds and all those type of fixed income instruments. However, you always, I'm going to say this, past performance is no guarantee of future results. Another potential to think about, obtain information about the retirement benefits that are available to you through your employer and actively participate in any of the plans that are offered. Very, very important to do that. Also, seek education about the investment vehicles that can help you reach your retirement goals. An investment professional is an excellent source of information and guidance to sort through the many choices available. You also may want to contact your local professional and trade associations, women's groups, community college, and adult education centers in your area for information on investment or personal finance seminars taking place. And I actually get those things in the mail all the time. So there are a lot of times they are offered. I do see them a lot at the local community colleges. They'll have adult school nights and things like that. So those are actually pretty neat classes to go to. Also, most importantly, women need to recognize the unique challenges we face and start saving and investing as early as possible to overcome them. The other thing about that is, as a woman myself, I know I do this. We tend to put everybody else first, their care, their needs, everything. Like, obviously, especially when you have kids, everybody comes before you. But this is one place where you do need to practice some self-care, because the self-care that you do now and over the years prior to your retirement is going to make a huge difference in what your retirement can look like for you. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Regina McCann-Hess, president of Forge Wealth Management. My website is forgewealth.com. I can be followed on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Forge Wealth, and also on LinkedIn as Regina McCann-Hess. Thanks and have a great day.